Welcome back to the channel. If you've been building AI in 2026, you already know the open secret. We've hit a performance wall. Python is still the absolute king for research, prototyping, and its incredible ecosystem. But when it comes to raw speed, memory limits, and deploying at a massive global scale, it starts to bottleneck. Enter Rust. Today, we're breaking down the latest 2026 report on the massive architectural shift happening right now, the Rust and Python synergy. We're going to look at why heavy hitters like Polars and next-gen model serving frameworks are using Rust to completely slash cloud costs and fix performance bottlenecks. Spoiler alert, the future isn't about replacing Python. It's about the ultimate hybrid architecture. Let's dive in.
All right, let's talk about AI. Because right now, there's this huge battle brewing between two programming languages for control of the future. Or is there? You've probably seen the headlines, you've heard the chatter online. And it's almost always framed as this epic, high-stakes war for the soul of artificial intelligence. So in one corner, you've got the reigning monarch, Python. This is the language that built the entire modern AI world as we know it. And in the other corner, you have the challenger, Rust, this absolute powerhouse of performance and safety.
So you have to ask, is Python's time on the throne about to end? Or what if that's just the wrong question to be asking in the first place? What if the real story is way more interesting?
To really get what's going on here, we have to look at the core DNA of each language. See, they weren't just built differently, they were built with totally different goals in mind from day one.
Python's whole philosophy is, let's get something working and let's get it working fast. It's all about quick ideas and prototyping. Rust, on the other hand, its philosophy is, let's get it working right and let's make it fly. It puts performance and reliability above everything else right from the very start.
For the longest time, Python has had this one big architectural weakness. It's called the global interpreter lock, or just the GIL. Now, to put it simply, it's a mechanism that basically stops Python from doing true parallel processing. Only one thread can actually run at a time.
So what's Rust's answer to this kind of problem? Well, it has a secret weapon, and it's called the ownership system. This is a totally different way of thinking that guarantees memory is handled safely, but without the performance penalty of something like a garbage collector, which is what Python has to rely on.
So here's the gist of how it works. First, a variable owns its data. That creates a single clear point of responsibility. Second, other parts of your code can borrow that data for a little while. And finally, the compiler acts like a really strict teacher, enforcing all these rules, and get this, it catches a whole class of memory bugs before your code is even finished.
And this chart just brilliantly shows you the real-world difference. Look at that. A basic Rust process, just sitting there doing nothing, uses almost 10 times less memory than a Python one. That is a massive difference in efficiency right out of the gate, and it has huge implications for cost when you're running things at scale.
Okay, but check this out. This is where it gets really wild. We're talking raw CPU performance. For those really heavy, logic-intensive jobs, Rust isn't just a little bit faster. It can be anywhere from 10 to over 100 times faster than Python. The gap is just enormous.
Okay, so we've got these huge architectural differences, right? So where do we actually see these languages shining in the day-to-day world of AI development? Well, Python's kingdom is, without a doubt, the world of AI research. From the big deep learning frameworks like PyTorch and TensorFlow to essential hubs like Hugging Face, Python is the universal language. If you're building a new model, if you're experimenting with an idea, you're doing it in Python. Period.
For years and years, data scientists have basically lived in pandas. It's an incredibly powerful Python library for messing with data. But its design is a bit old school. It's single-threaded, which means it just hits a performance wall when you throw really, really big data sets at it.
So, to solve that exact problem, enter Polars. This is a totally new take on a data frame library. It was built from the ground up in Rust, specifically to take advantage of all the cores in a modern processor.
So here's the crucial point. By using all that Rust power and its ability to handle multiple things at once, Polars can just blow past pandas, running anywhere from 3 to 10 times faster on those big data tasks. For data engineers, that's an absolute game changer.
Okay, let's switch gears to another critical battleground. Serving AI models at a massive global scale. And that is exactly what a company like Cloudflare does every single day.
Now, when Cloudflare decided to rewrite their engine for serving large language models, moving it from Python to Rust,
The results were just staggering. Look at this, a 10 times reduction in CPU usage, a massive jump in how many tokens they could process, and startup times went from seconds down to milliseconds. This is pretty much definitive proof of Rust's power in a real production environment.
So you have to be thinking, if Rust is so much faster, why hasn't it just replaced Python already? Well, that brings us to our final section and to the real story here. And this quote just nails it. It perfectly captures the whole point. This was never really about a war at all. It was always about a powerful strategic alliance.
You see, the most effective strategy that's emerging is this two-tier architecture. It's simple. You use Python for everything it's great at, that huge high-level ecosystem and that beautiful developer-friendly interface. And then you plug Rust in underneath to power all the heavy-duty, performance-critical engine tasks. And this has led to what a lot of people in the industry are now calling the Rust core era. What it means is that the Python tools you already know and love are getting supercharged from the inside out with these high-performance Rust components.
And you can see this alliance everywhere you look. Rough, this ridiculously fast code linter, is 10 to 200 times faster than the old Python tools. Pydantic, which is the data validation backbone for so many APIs, got a 5 to 50 times speedup by rewriting its core in Rust. And even the most essential parts of the Hugging Face ecosystem use Rust right under the hood.
So the takeaway here is crystal clear. Python isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's getting a massive, totally free upgrade by strategically partnering with Rust to do all the heavy lifting.
And that leaves us with one last provocative thought. Instead of asking which language you should choose, maybe the better question we should all be asking ourselves is this: which parts of our existing AI systems are just waiting for their new Rust-powered engine?
So the takeaway for 2026 is crystal clear. It is no longer Python versus Rust. It is Python and Rust. By keeping Python as the intuitive front-end interface and using Rust as the ultra-fast, memory-safe engine under the hood, developers are building AI systems that are infinitely more stable, secure, and ready for global scale. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you already rewriting your backend bottlenecks in Rust, or are you sticking purely to Python? Let's debate down in the comments. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the future of tech. Keep building, and I'll see you in the next one.